I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Your lies, I'll do what I want.
Beautiful pink with your scarf, and you show up not trying to fit in. You show up being true to who you are. Do you ever think about that? I'm interested in what you think about before you get dressed, before you go talk to someone. Are you just going to say, I want to be me, you be you? Because you're definitely not trying to fit in anywhere. And I love the way you do that. I wish I had that courage. I'm always dressed like this. Dr. Lee's a little bit like you. I'm like, oh my God, Dr. Lee, look what you have on today.
Yeah, Dr. Lee, last week she had on the head wrap and everything. And today, I was telling her earlier, I said, I'm gonna come out with my head wrap. And you know, it just really goes to you know, each day, you know, I decide on what exactly I want to, because I just got my hair fixed. So I say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have my hair out. So most often time, like, you know, like I mentioned to you that, you know, when I came over here, this has been over 30 something years ago, just talking about is I want to introduce my Africa, like I call it, you know, my culture, whatever, and all that, so to the world. So anywhere I am truly authentic me as a royal, you know, you know, and it's not that I mean, I do care, of course, where I am. So say for instance, in some cases, you know, I might decide, okay, let me do head wrap. Not because sometimes it might just be, you know, maybe if I'm in the midst of, you know, when you are in a diplomatic setting, you know, you have to know exactly what fits in what and what fits in what, but always true to your authenticity. And I always keep that in the back of my mind. So the word, you know, the word I don't care, and I know you mean it like, you know, just being true authentic. Yes, I do, you know, I just do what feels good, you know, what feels good, but I'm very cognizant of the environment that I'm in. And that's, you know, that's the diplomatic side of me also too. So, so because, you know, I deal with so many different level of people. So it just depends on whatever it is that I feel like. But I always come as a princess, because I come, my father early on, since I was 5 years old, I remember in Nigeria, we used to have this cultural these cultural activities where the women cannot even come out. The women have to watch it from the back, but, you know, only the men can come onto the street, and we call it the Eyo Festival. The Eyo Festival is the oldest cultural activity festival in African culture, and it's both, you know, it's a very powerful gathering that comes usually after a king or a monarch has passed. So it's a celebration. So to do their celebration, that's what they do. And I remember when I was young, I was about 5, my father would go, "You are a princess, so you must dress like this." So he will have me dress with the princess attire, you know, with the wraps and everything, and with the beads, all the beads around my neck and my hand. And you will be like, okay, so go out there. Yes, you are a princess. So because you are a princess, you can go, even though there's no women that's allowed, no female as allowed. But my father, you know, he let me have that. He didn't, you know, he let me have that, like, go, I am behind you, you know, that type of, like, you know, that. And so because of that, I think I became fearless.
That's what I was trying to recognize when I said you didn't care. A better term would be to use, you changed your dress a lot with your interviews, and some of them I was thinking, wow, look at her. Wouldn't it be amazing if all little girls were taught at a young age that we're princesses, and imagine what we would all dress and look like? Imagine if we all believe that to be true.
Yes, my father did that. My father would be like, okay, now, yes, you can go. Yes, you can. Or if I even be a little bit extra, she go, no, you have. So when he passed in 2014, and I'm telling you this, the reason why I say this, when he passed in 20, just before he passed, he was telling me, he was saying something about how, remember who you are, remember the daughter of who you are. And I always, whenever, anytime I dress up, anywhere I go and all that stuff, I know, it's a knowing. I know who I am, and I know who is, behind me, even though if I'm not even seeing anybody, and just really being your true self. So they always say, you are a child of a king. So and that's one of the things I remember when in Arkansas, while I was in university, and I was doing a lot of fashion shows and a lot of programs, a lot of cultural programs. So during Black History Month, that was really my message to both young Black girls and young Black boys. Really, it's like, do you know that you are the daughter of a king and a queen, and I would tell them about stories from Africa that, before the slavery is over here and all that stuff, we had a whole story in the back end, kings and queens and things like that. And I used to actually go to secondary schools and university and actually do that in Arkansas.
Yeah. I think that is such a beautiful topic, because so many of us, I come from a sexual abuse background, where you start to diminish your light physically because you don't want to draw attention to yourself. So I was interested in your choices because they were so diverse on so many levels. And I had another question for you. Have you ever had a time in your life?
Lael, I have to get one question in. I have to.
Oh no.
Yes, I have to get a question.
I had a really good one I wanted to ask.
I know, but I haven't gotten one in all evening.
I'm going to write mine down and I'm coming back to it.
Okay.
I want to know how you became such an expert on Dubai. And as you know, we're doing an event. We're partnered up together to do an event in Dubai. But how did you become such an expert on Dubai?
This actually goes for, with the message, with the talk we've been having all this while with Lahel, is one thing in the UAE. The people of the UAE, one thing, they put a big value on authenticity and on culture, right? And I would want to say that, it's only just by the grace of God, how I even ended up, really doing some outstanding work in the UAE and in the Gulf regions and in the Middle East. It's nothing but just the grace of God. And I think what happens is when you are really authentic in your message and you carry you carry yourself, accordingly, you authentic in the message that you bring along, people just naturally warm up to you. And building relationship is a really key part of it. When I was in Arkansas, I served as a sister city commissioner for 2 terms. I was a commissioner with the city of Little Rock. So I did that for 10 years. I served 2 terms in office for that. And during that time, it really cultivated a lot of cultural relationship and really creating diplomatic relationship, and really made me a global citizen. Sometimes like this, when you take on some of these work, you don't really think much about it until you actually start living it. So I think being a commissioner with the sister city in Little Rock really prepared me for the UAE. When I was brought to the UAE by ADIPEC, which is the Abu Dhabi National, the largest gathering of oil and gas experts in the world. And this is all under the patronage of the president of the United Arab Emirates. So this is all, this is the highest you go in Dubai, I mean, in Abu Dhabi, I mean, in the UAE, because Abu Dhabi is a seat of government and Dubai is one of his cities. So I really was doing a lot of work in Abu Dhabi with ADIPEC, speaking at the energy conference. And I was brought in at such a very high level that, I was with the royals and with the, with the presidency, with all of that. And that is the area I was brought in there. And, of course, there's a saying that my father always says about, the opportunity will bring, your gift will bring you up there, but then your character will keep you, or it will maintain what it is, the level that, it would maintain you. Because, even if you're given an opportunity, if you make a preparation and there's an opportunity for it, whereby you take the opportunity, but then it's your character and your conduct that's going to keep maintaining it. So that's going to deepen the relationship. And that's exactly what's happened. So I've been speaking at ADIPEC for the last few years. And of course, I'm getting ready to come back again in October. I'll be speaking at ADIPEC again in October of this year. So, and in addition to that, I speak a lot, on energy and oil and gas, in the energy, oil and gas industry. So the people over in, so it has gone from just being in the UAE, but it's gone to Qatar, it's gone into the MENA region in Egypt. I do a lot of speaking engagement, brought into also to everything coming in from the presidency office and the Minister of Oil and Gas, Minister of Petroleum. So I've been working with head of states and ministers, especially in the energy and oil and gas industry. So in 2021, while at ADIPEC in Abu Dhabi, I saw there was a need, because anywhere I go, very, very true to myself, I'm always thinking about what would be good for my people back home, because like I mentioned to you earlier about the responsibility and looking for ways to make sure that, the people at home are okay. So we launched this program called the Africa 259. And the Africa 259, and that was really work when we started talking about the climate action plan, action event. So I launched that, and I was so pleasantly surprised that so many countries have come together to join in what it is that we want to do. And the African 259 is really helping to build basic infrastructure in sub-Saharan African countries. Because most oftentimes when people talk about Africa, they are usually talking maybe in Egypt, or, going up the MENA region up, or talking about South Africa. But this one, I wanted to really deal with the sub-Saharan African countries. So by the special grace of God, I've been very successful in that. But I think the reason why the success has been going on consistently is just because, I think they see the authenticity within me, they see the value, and they see that, definitely, we are all, and they see the respect, the awesome amount of respect that I have for the culture, and I have for the people, and just really lovely food, lovely food also too. So, everything is all a thing, and I think because that's what God, has ordained, and it just really gives me great joy and honor to be able to partner with the Women of Wealth magazine to actually bring this women economic development global summit that we're having the maiden event